For Life family, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going big literally. We're making giant donuts, and trust me, these are going to be as fun to make as they are to eat. If you've ever wanted to impress your friends, or just satisfy that craving for a donut that's way bigger than your average, this recipe is for you. Now for our giant donut, we're going to form it into a large ring. Let's get started. First, we're going to activate our yeast. Combine 1/2 cup of warm water in a small bowl with 2 tablespoons of active dry yeast. Add 1 tablespoon of sugar to this mix. The sugar helps feed the yeast, and the warm water helps it bloom. Please stir it quickly to make sure everything's dissolved. Now let it sit for about 10 minutes. Sorry, my camera stopped filming while I was pouring the ingredients. You'll know it's ready when it starts to foam up. Let's move on to the next step. In a large bowl, combine 1/2 cup of warm milk, 4 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 egg. The milk should be warm, but not hot. A little warmer than body temperature, which helps the dough rise faster. Whisk them together until they're smooth and well combined. Once that's done, we will add 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. Stir it again, then add 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Start stirring with a spatula. Now add about 1½ teaspoon of salt while mixing. It is time for our foamy yeast mixture to be added to this bowl. Just pour it right in. Give everything a good mix. You want all those wet ingredients to come together nicely. Keep mixing for about 5 to 7 minutes. Next, we add 3 tablespoons of butter, 1 tablespoon at a time. The butter should be softened but not melted to incorporate it into the dough easily. Knead the dough as you go. Don't worry if the dough gets sticky at first. It will become soft and smooth as you go, I promise. It's time to knead the dough on a lightly floured surface. Transfer it to the floured surface and start working it. Knead for about 8 to 10 minutes. The dough should become smooth and elastic, but not too sticky. If it's a bit too sticky, you can always sprinkle in a little more flour, just a tablespoon at a time. You want the dough to be soft but firm, and it should bounce back slightly when you press it with your finger. By the way, if you are new to my channel, welcome. And for all the viewers, thank you for staying tuned this far. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, please don't forget to press the bell icon if you want to see more delicious recipes like this. All right, now comes the hardest part, patience. Place your dough in a lightly oiled bowl and cover it with a clean kitchen towel. Let it rise for about an hour in a warm, draft-free place, or until doubled in size. Don't rush this step. The longer it rises, the fluffier and lighter your donuts will be. Once your dough has risen, it should look something like this, all puffy and airy. Now that your dough has risen, it's time to punch it down to release any air pockets. Take your dough, and on a lightly floured surface, roll it out into a giant circle, about 1/2 inch thick. For the center hole, you can either use a glass or your hands to pinch it out, making sure it's wide enough to give the donut a nice, defined shape. Carefully transfer your giant donut to a parchment-lined baking tray. Don't worry if it's a little misshapen, this is all part of the fun. Let it rest for another 30 minutes so it can rise one more time. While the dough is doing its thing, it's time to talk frying. Get a large pot or deep fryer and heat up some vegetable oil to about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. It's crucial that your oil is hot enough, too cold, and your donut will absorb too much oil and get soggy. Too hot, and it'll burn. Aim for that perfect golden brown. While the dough is rising, I am going to make my coatings ready. For coating, you can use granulated sugar for a classic touch, or even cinnamon sugar, any kind of syrup, or sprinkles, chocolates if you want a little extra flavor. There are many to choose from. My favorite coating is dark chocolate. What kind of donut coating you like? Write it in the comment section below, so let boil some water in a pan. Throw your chocolate pieces in a glass bowl and stir it until it melts. I am also making sugar syrup coating by simply adding 2 cups of sugar in to 1 cup of water and letting it boil for 5 minutes. Alright, the fun part. Gently lower your giant donut into the oil, making sure it floats. It'll cook for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side, or until it's golden brown and delicious. Use tongs or a slotted spoon to flip them. You'll see them puff up beautifully. Once they're golden and crispy on both sides, remove them from the oil and place them on a paper towel-lined plate to drain the excess oil. Just be careful it's hot. Look at that gorgeous color. It's time for the fun part, pouring that sweet glaze over the top. Go ahead and drizzle it generously. And hey, if you want to get extra, feel free to top it off with sprinkles, chocolate chips, or even some chopped fruit. Look at this beauty, your very own giant donut, ready to wow your friends and family, or just satisfy that sweet tooth. And the best part, you can customize it however you like. Maybe even make a donut sandwich with your favorite fillings. Alright, let's take a bite and see how it turned out. Wow, just as fluffy and delicious as I hoped. You're gonna love this one, folks. Thanks for joining me today on Food for Life. If you enjoyed making this giant donut with me, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves donuts as much as we do. And hey, tag us in your donut creations on social media. We'd love to see your giant creations. Until next time, stay hungry, stay happy, and keep cooking.